Hi everyone, I wanted to do a quick update. I've kind of been a little bit of a hermit recently. I stopped working on Tuesday mostly because I'm just so distracted. Not that I'm totally worried about surgery, it's more I need to focus all my energy towards it. So I went ahead and Tuesday was my last day. I went ahead and just said I wasn't coming in tomorrow, which is Saturday or Sunday. That way I could just get everything cleaned in the house. I mean, the house isn't totally 100% spotless, but it's clean enough for me not to worry about it when I get home from surgery. My kitchen's clean. That's pretty much what I wanted to do. There's just some random stuff on the floor and stuff like that. It doesn't really bother me. It's not going to take very much time to clean up. So today I have my interview that I was talking about a week ago with the Ohio Historical Society, which is now called the Ohio History Connection. They gave me a presentation to do. I finished it in 2 days. But it's a 16-page PowerPoint about, where I think their textbook should head, what we should do, just kind of like a product, where I think the product should go. So I printed it out, and hopefully, if they don't hire me, they can use some of my ideas. I actually had an interview yesterday at another company, a company that I've worked for in the past. It's still trucking, but it's a different, I guess, it's a different position I've never had before. So it's called what's called weights and inspection, W&I. It's basically classifying freight and charging customers more money. So if I don't get that job, I'll probably get the other job. I always think that when you get a business card from somebody, that you're pretty much a shoo-in for the job. So I really like the guy that I interviewed with yesterday. The only thing that stinks is that it is in trucking, which I wanted to get away from, and it is second shift. Which I understand, a lot of the freight only comes in at night, so that's when, your best chances to find somebody who's not using what's called not using what's called the proper NMFC codes. If you've never been in freight and you've never been in trucking, these codes dictate how much you get charged for what purpose. I mean, the NMFC code book is thousands of pages long. I mean, it gets so specific. So you really have to know what to look for, what the product is, how specific to get. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's detailed oriented. It is a single position. I do not have to supervise anyone, which is fantastic. I get my own office, which is really nice. It has wood paneling, but that's okay. But ideally, I actually might want to take this job over the Ohio History Connection. If I based my decision totally on exercise. With the Ohio History Connection, it's more of an indoor thing. I do have the museum to walk around in, which would be great. But majority of the time I'd be at a desk. I do like getting up and walking around, so it's not impossible for me to do. But with this job that I interviewed for with yesterday, 80% of my time would be on my feet walking the dock. And we're talking about 5, 6, 7 miles a day, just walking around the dock for 10 hours a day, which is, that's 10-hour shifts are normal in trucking. So it would just constantly be on my feet. I'd constantly be walking. I'd just constantly be moving. So that appealed to me, especially after getting the surgery. Having a job where I'm absolutely active all the time and getting constantly 10,000 steps in, maybe 20,000, that's appealing. I haven't even looked in a mirror. My eyebrows are out of control. I don't have an appointment till after surgery, so I'm kind of like, don't pay attention to my huge eyebrows. I guess I gotta have her thin them out. Anyway, my boyfriend's grandmother is in town. I haven't met her yet. She lives in Wyoming, so that's gonna be interesting. He's supposed to be back here in a couple hours, and I would assume we're all gonna get together for dinner. They're not great planners, so I might end up just watching people eat. Probably won't be able to eat anything that his mom makes, because usually it's carb based. And I mean, with the pre-op diet, it hasn't been too bad. I have had some slip ups here and there. I destroyed an entire jar of peanut butter, not at one sitting. It took me about a week and a half, just a spoonful here and there, but that's been very, very satisfying. So it's not been a huge deal. I have lost some weight, but I'm losing inches more than weight, which is good. Which is what I kind of prefer. I've lost about 4 inches total. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but 1 inch is 1 inch, 1 pound is 1 pound. So, but other than that, I've been drinking tons of water. I've kind of come up with this pseudo chicken soup, to get, broth and protein and try and keep myself full. It's a can of Costco Kirkland chicken, which if you haven't tried and you do not have a Costco membership, get a day pass and go and get yourself some Costco canned chicken. It is one of the best canned chicken I've ever had. It's really, really tasty. It doesn't have a weird aftertaste. And I'm not a fan of tuna, so this is perfect. It heats up really well. I mean, you pull it out of the can, it's in big chunks. But once you warm them up, it all melts, and it goes together perfectly. I make a lot of, chicken taco meat. So I just take some taco seasoning, dump it in, and stir it around. I leave the juice in. That way I'm not using a whole bunch of water to dilute it. What else do I make with it? Oh, the chicken soup. I take chicken stock, a whole shitload of Mrs. Dash, a cube or two of Knorr's kind of extra large, bouillon cubes, and then I put the can of chicken in there drained. So that's been really tasty. That's actually really good, and it's like a pseudo chicken noodle soup. So I think I'll make that a lot after surgery. Obviously not with the chicken, first week, but once I'm able to introduce soft foods, then I'll probably be making it a lot. But having extra salt has been very, very helpful. I don't have high blood pressure, minus the thing that I had with the surgeon. I normally don't have high blood pressure, so sodium is not a deal breaker for me. And being a lifelong person who gets really, really sick on car rides and stuff, salt has been the only thing besides a prescription like Zofran or Phenergan that has stopped me from throwing up, or at least delayed it. Other than that, I've actually ordered a shaved ice machine, which is kind of weird. I grew up a little bit in Japan, and kakigori, which is Japanese shaved ice, was like the number one thing that we always ate. We always got it on the way to the train station during the summer. There was this little guy that it was literally a hole in the wall with a machine to shave the ice and ice. That was it, and all his little flavorings. So that was all he had. And I would always get melon, which is a weird flavor for a lot of people, but it's a typical Asian flavor. It's just like cantaloupe, or I guess here in Ohio we call it muskmelon. It's just It's a melon flavor. It's green. It looks like it's lemon or lime, but it's so good. So I've actually got a couple of ideas for some sugar-free syrups. So I figured, if I get tired of the popsicles, which I've been eating like crazy, which I need to eat those. Those have been out for a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and I think what I'll do is, because I have that huge jar full of just like drink mixes and stuff, I think I'm gonna sprinkle that on top of the shaved ice and kind of go from there. I did go a little bit more expensive with the shaved ice machine. It's not hand crank, it's electric. I think it was like $30 on Amazon. Yeah. And it comes with 2 huge bowls of ice molds. So hopefully that'll help. And I can order more. There's a thing on there where I can order more, but I doubt I'll need more than 2, but who knows? I don't know. What else? Today, after my interview, they're having a little festival where I'm interviewing, so I might have to pay for parking. But the woman I interviewed with said, no, don't worry, pay the $5 and I'll give you $5 when you get in here. It's like, okay, whatever. But I'm going to go run up to Costco and get probably another box of Premier chocolate. I got 2 in the refrigerator right now. I like to have one kind of a mini Kanban system, once there are 2 in there, I like to get another one. That way we're rotating. I don't know. It's lean. It's drilled into me because of work. So, I'll get another one. And then IKEA is actually just kind of down the road a little bit. So I'm going to go hit IKEA up. Probably get some kids, plates, bowls. I don't have any mini bowls except for, Tupperware and stuff like that. So I wanted something to identify my stuff versus, my stepdaughters and my boyfriend's stuff. So that way it's a little colorful and, hopefully it'll help me keep portion control. Even though that's not going to be an issue with such a small stomach. Right now I'm waiting on a call from surgery. They're supposed to call me today by 3. If I don't hear from them, I need to call them to let me know what time I need to show up for surgery. So far, they've changed the time a couple of times on my online app thing. So right now, it stands my check-in time is 10 a.m. So far, my boyfriend's going, my mom's going, one of my sisters is taking half a day off to sit with my boyfriend because he's very anxious and I don't want him in there with my mother being anxious because my mom's not good at being anxious, dealing with anxious people. So, just having somebody else there. I don't know if his parents or mom or grandma are going. I would assume they would just visit me, but who knows? I don't know. My other sister is going to visit afterwards. I've got a friend who works right around the corner who I have to let her know when I'm in my room. That way she can come see me and pat me on the head. But other than that, that's pretty much what's going on today. I need to get ready for, well, I'm not quite at the point. I need to leave about an hour and 15 minutes early for the interview. Mostly because I get paranoid about not being able to get somewhere on time. So it's about an hour away, 45 minutes. So I want that extra cushion of 30 minutes just in case. Other than that, that's pretty much all that's happening. Just a lot of just relaxing and preparing for surgery, keeping hydrated, staying away from food, which has been... It's been difficult, but not impossible. It's hard when everybody's eating around you and you can't eat, or you can only eat just a little bit, and it's sad. So I have been doing a lot of sleeping. So far, the insomnia is what's getting to me, because the past week I haven't been able to take melatonin. Tylenol is out too. So I've kind of, took a 3-hour nap yesterday from like 3 to 6, and then I didn't go to bed until like 4 a.m. and then I was up at 8. So it's a lot of broken sleep, which is another reason why I didn't want to work. I'm just not getting the amount of sleep that I need, and I'm just stressing out right now. It feels like I have rashes on my hands, but as you can see, there's nothing wrong with my hand. I'll show you the other one. Nothing wrong. Maybe a little bit of, there's a little something there. But for the most part, my hands have been itching like crazy, so I do not know what that is. I'm hoping it's just stress. That's just a tan, but I'm hoping it's just stress, because my hands have been itching like crazy. My feet have been itching, like the top of my foot. So I'm not putting anything on it, but I'm just kind of hoping it goes away. They'll most likely put me on Benadryl in the hospital, because I'm allergic to opiates, but not to the point where they like try and kill me or anything. So they'll probably give me something for an opioid for the pain, and then they'll have to give me a shot of Benadryl. So I'm hoping that, that at least takes care of like my hands itching. Other than that, that's all that's going on. It's just waiting right now, and as difficult as it is, I'm also like digging in my heels going, whoa, this is going way too fast. This is coming up way too fast. I thought I'd have more time to prepare, but at this point, it's just, all right, let's move forward. Let's go. I'm trying to ignore the voice in the back of my head that says, you're fine. Everything's fine. Sorry. And I think it's just nerves for the most part. Because I want to be thin. I want to be skinny. And as vain as that sounds, that's pretty much the goal. As you can see, I still have the drainage and the cold. But I think it's more post-nasal drip than anything else. I haven't been taking anything for it, of course, because I can't take anything. But if I'm still kind of congested, it's not, I think it's just a rebound from the cold. That, and I've been in air conditioning for quite a while, so, whatever. But when I get to the hospital, I'm definitely going to ask them for something to relax, because I'm so wound up. I won't be able to sleep on Sunday night. I've already not decided, but it's pretty much a given that I won't sleep. So I might sleep just to pass time, but it's not going to be any type of significant sleep that really helps me out. So, but surgery is coming. Sounds like a Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. Surgery is coming, and I can't really stop it now. I can, but I don't want to. It's just, my lifestyle is going to change. And that's not a bad thing, but it's a very hard thing to deal with. Especially since this is how I've lived most of my life. I've done crash dieting, I've done everything, and this is kind of like, this is final. This is a life-altering, the weight will come off. It might not come off fast or come off right away, but it'll come off. And everything about me is gonna change. I'm gonna get smaller, my face is gonna change, I'm probably gonna end up cutting my hair, because with PCOS, your hair thins anyway. But with surgery here about 3 months out, I'm gonna basically just start losing hair like crazy, so I may end up just cutting it short. I don't know. I have had short in the past. I just don't know how short I want to go. I don't mind. I don't do a whole lot with my hair, as you can see. I don't own a curling iron. I don't own a flat iron. I'm barely lucky to own shampoo and conditioner, to be honest with you. So, and it looks like my hair is extremely greasy. But I washed this at like midnight last night. And what time is it? It's 11:52, so it's 12 hours later and my hair is already looking like it needs to be washed again. And I don't constantly touch it, but I just can't find a shampoo that helps besides Head and Shoulders. I mean, my head's not really itchy right now. I went to Whole Foods last week, and they had a bunch of clearance shampoos that I got. One that I'm using right now is called Blackberry Coconut something. It's supposed to hydrate, which, you know, probably isn't good with the grease, but my hair's kind of color damaged, so I wanted to fix that a little bit, and I wanted something different than the Head and Shoulders, and it was cheap. So I got some other stuff, some other tea tree oil stuff that's supposed to help with the itching and stuff like that. But I don't know. Other than that, that's pretty much all that's going on. You can see Charlie in the background. That's an IKEA print, by the way. It's fantastic. I've got one of Audrey Hepburn too. So $40 at IKEA. I'm probably gonna end up coming back with more than I expect from IKEA. It's very hard for me to go in there and not spend $100. So, but other than that, I will watch another episode of Magnum PI. I'm a child of the 80s/90s, so I like my Magnum PI. And I guess wait until I need to get ready for this interview. I can probably go over my PowerPoint presentation. Other than that, that's it. You guys, hopefully you'll hear from me the day of surgery. And I'll try and post as much as I can after surgery. I just don't know how well I'm going to feel. Usually I come out of anesthesia really, really well, except for like vomiting and stuff, but they're hoping to combat that. So I don't know. We'll see. Other than that, I will see you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe. Here we go. Next video is going to be me at the hospital.